Welcome to Leaders with Leverage. This episode is a solo episode, and I'm still kind of getting used to this idea that I'm talking to you, but I don't get to see you. But I'm getting more and more excited about these solo episodes as people are telling me that they are providing value to them. And what a great, you know, um, vote of confidence for me to know that they're valuable. And so that's what I want to talk today about is really understanding what you bring, what your value is. And it's essential. I really believe I've been thinking a lot about our relationship with negotiation. And as I get people to understand how it shows up every day, the one thing that has been really clear to me recently is that when you know your value, you create power and leverage for yourself, which increases your confidence. So think about that, the value that you bring to any situation. You know, I've talked about Susie with a microphone is that little voice in our head that is so quick to kind of knock us down or tell us in that right moment, why do you think you deserve it? You've never done this before, all these things. So we need to celebrate our value so that Susie with a microphone and whatever yours is called will hear us and understand that we value what we bring. So value is knowing who you are and what unique qualities you have in any situation that really create impact to the situation, to the role that you play, to you as a leader. And that value, when you really understand it and think about it, what it does is it it keeps your tank full. So I like to think about it like this. You know, when we're going to advocate for ourselves or we're looking at a situation where we're going to negotiate something that is very personal to us, we have to find the value that we have or our worth or the number that we're going to ask for. And it feels like in those moments we have to pull the value and think through why we're deserving. But if we celebrate our value every day and tell ourselves out loud what makes us uniquely us, just by looking at what we did that day or what we're going to face, and I'll talk about that in a minute, it allows us to keep that tank full so that when we're going for something or asking for something, we have the confidence. And when we have the confidence, we articulate the words in a more powerful way and we don't back down because we understand that our value applies to the person in front of us or the situation in front of us, and we add something to that. So it's not just about a selfish act to get those opportunities or to get more, to get promoted, just to get experience, to get what you want. It's about saying, listen, I'm good at this. So put me in coach and I will make a difference. And so I wanted to think about or have you think about, well, first of all, just that whole idea that value leads to leverage. So leverage is everything. And so leverage, is, as you know, is power. Power in a situation is also leverage. And that drives confidence. So really understanding and honing your value. So thinking every day when you wake up, saying out loud so that Susie with a microphone can hear you, I value my future contribution in that meeting, or I value the fact that I'm going to be nervous about this, but I'm still going to move through. And I value what's coming up for me. And the same is true if you say one of those in the morning, say one at night, and say, I value all the great feedback that I provided in that meeting today. Or I value the way that my team is really showing up because I'm giving them what they need. So celebrating your value allows that person in your head to know what you're really good at so that they're not so loud. And it also reminds you what you're really good at so that tank feels full instead of always being depleted, and you really have to think about what you need. So the takeaways here are being really clear about what you want in that situation or just in general so that you can start to really see what value leads you to that place. The second thing is to be kind of embody it, what you want, so that it becomes comfortable to you. Starting to say it like, this is where I'm going, this is what I want to do. What it does is it gives you that language that it starts feeling comfortable. It starts feeling common to you. It's like when you take a new role. I was talking to a friend of mine today who took a VP role last year, and he was like, a lot of imposter syndrome, he said. And he said, it just took me time to kind of live in it so that I could feel like I was enough. So just know that when you have this idea of where you're going, getting comfortable with it in those first moments, it does feel uncomfortable because you have to get used to it. Another example I think of is when I first published my book and somebody goes, "Oh, you're a published author." It took me some practice to be able to say with confidence, I'm a published author, because that statement sounded so foreign to me, even though it was true. It just felt like that somebody else owned that label and not me. So get comfortable with it so that you can be proud of it. It's true. Understand your value and then embody it. And then celebrate it. Celebrate it by telling people where you want to go so that they understand, they see opportunities for you that you can then seed. And the best example was I heard this at a CFO speaking at a leadership conference a few months ago. And she said, now that I'm in the C-suite, I realize, and this is a big company, she goes, I realize the people that come and seed their ideas of where they're going, then it helps me. I'm in all of these meetings and I hear opportunities and then I give it to those people. So why don't you be one of those people that raises your hand, not just waiting for the opportunity, but saying, this is where I'm going. So if you happen to know of anybody or you know of something that I can use this superpower of mine, this is where I'm going. So really celebrate your value. That helps that voice in your head be on notice that you're not going to always listen or be hijacked by them. You know they're there. You know they're going to always try to throw you for a loop. But when you really hone your value, you understand that you don't give them the power to change your approach or get in your way. So remember, understanding your value and celebrating it every day allows your tank to be full, which means you create leverage for yourself. You give yourself the words that you need to put yourself forward, see opportunities, and advocate for yourself, which increases your confidence. And isn't that what it's all about? Is about really understanding our uniqueness, because we're all unique. That's what's so great. There's room at the table for everybody. So don't be thinking you're going for a chair that there's only one left and you have to just go for it. There's enough room for everybody. So find your value, understand your uniqueness, and celebrate it by telling people what you want and where you're going so that they can put you and give you opportunities that they're aware of. I would love to hear from you. It's always helpful for people to find this podcast. If you like it, to give it a 5-star rating. They always say do that because those are the only ones that really matter. If you have any feedback or you have ideas of things that you want me to talk about or think about or just kind of share with the group, with this network, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you for listening. I really appreciate you. And if I know I'm providing impact, if you tell me that, you'll totally make my day. So thanks for being here. This is Leaders with Leverage, and it's all about providing impact for you. So I appreciate you.